part 2. So far, I went to the Hammersmith and Fulham Literary Festival, something to that effect. I've probably got the name wrong. It's been a while. And the first one, I got this book, Breaking the Martha Chain. I have not read it yet. It is, the way that she described it, it is quite heavy. So it's based like she's based African, and it's, so I just need to get myself emotionally ready to read this book. I can't even tell you the actual details without having to read the blurb myself, and that was a lot to try and get through. The next one, so this is My Hidden Race, and I met her. She is an athlete, and she was working for the Big Four at the time when she gave me my signed copy. So I was interested. Earlier that year, I think it was that year, I read another athlete's book, and I do know that, like, you know, there's a space for what it's like to be a woman in a sport that has never really made space for women, and now also seeing from perspective of a Black woman. Follow her on Instagram, and I'm really happy for her. Now, I think it's time that I talk about the books that I actually have read. So one that actually made it back with me is A Slave Ship Called Jesus by Delia Ogun. I know him from Toastmasters, and I was very excited to read this. Very educational, and wow. Okay, another book that didn't make it, that I read by Candice, was Queenie. I love that book. She intentionally wrote the character to be unlikable, and I think it helped that I was at the literary festival when she told me this. So when I'm reading it, I was expecting the worst from her, and the whole time I just wanted to hug that character, because I knew she was just being misled and part of youth and trauma that comes with just being in the body that she has. And so I thought that was quite fascinating. A lot of these books that I've read by Black British authors are set mostly in London, but some also in the outskirts, and so that was quite helpful. I'm going to use my handy dandy little laptop to talk about the books that I read in 2024 that are not necessarily, just don't save that one. So the list, I was very nervous about reading that one. I'm gonna have to do a part 3 for this one, because of the topic, you know, where we don't want to believe women when they say that certain things happen to them. And in this story, there is a woman whose boyfriend has been accused of something, and now she has to believe the woman or believe her lover. And that gray area made me very uncomfortable. Let's do a part 3.